Hi everybody, welcome to yoga. My name is Betsy McGann and I am one of 3 wonderful yoga teachers for the city of Columbus. This video and video series going forward is brought to you by Healthy Columbus. So if you're new to yoga or if you just miss being in person with Lori, Gwen, or me, tuck in for a little while. We'll have a great class together. Today's class is all about yoga for relaxation. Before we begin, I would like to emphasize how important it is to have props if you have them at your disposal. One yoga block is all you really need, but if you have the resources, I recommend getting 2. These are a pretty small investment. You can find them on Amazon or at the store, Meijer, Target, about $10 each, and a yoga strap, or even if you have a bandana or a long scarf. Today in practice we won't be using the strap, but I did want to let you know about it. It's always really good to have. Remember that props are not for the weak. Props are there to help you find the pose or the stretch a little bit deeper, and especially with blocks, it's a really nice way to bring the floor up to meet you, to just close that space between any part of the body and the floor. So never be afraid to use blocks. So if you've been in class with me before, I always like to start by reminding you to do no harm. Ahimsa is a Sanskrit term for nonviolence. And as you move through the practice, it's really important to remember not to hurt yourself, right? This isn't about who has the best pose or the deepest pose. This is all about how it feels in your body. Remember too that ahimsa, doing no harm, also has to do with what you say to yourself during the practice. This is your time and your space, so let yourself be completely present. Let the rest of the world go. Let's begin. So find a comfortable seat, sitting cross-legged in Sukhasana. And if you feel like your knees are really high up in the air, you can always take blocks underneath the knees for a little extra support. We're just gonna settle in right here. Let your arms rest comfortably at the knees. Sit up just a little bit taller. Take a soft downward gaze or let the eyes close. Take a moment here and really notice the shape of the body. Notice the breath. Nothing to change, nothing to hold. And let your next inhale be nice and full, all the way down into the belly. Let it expand like a balloon. Exhale, let the shoulders soften back and down the spine. Settle into the hips just a bit more. Let yourself land on the mat right where you are. Another deep breath into the belly, let it expand. Exhale. Good. Let the eyes open. Notice how you feel. On your next exhale, lower right ear to right shoulder. Once you're here, let the left fingers walk out to the side of the mat and feel that stretch along the top of the shoulder. Soft jaw. Slowly nod the head yes. On your next exhale, bring chin to chest. Squeeze your shoulder blades together just a little bit, softening back and down, and then slowly begin to turn the chin from one shoulder to the other. Remember, you don't have to try so hard. Just let the head be heavy. Notice the breath. And then inhale, bring the head up to neutral, and as you exhale, bring left ear to left shoulder, right arm out to the side. Walk those fingers away, notice any stretch, and slowly nod yes. Knowing that the practice of yoga is about being present with the breath, awareness of the body. Exhale, chin to chest one more time as that hand comes in, and then inhale, reach the head forward and lengthen up as you come back up to neutral. You can remove the blocks or leave them there if you feel like that extra support is helpful. And from here, bring your hands to the sides of the mat. Sit up nice and tall. Walk the fingers back and start to open up through the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. On an inhale, reach up. Palms flip up. Look up to the ceiling. Big stretch. Exhale, hands come out to the sides and down. Soften through the shoulders. Again, just like that, inhale, reach up, building up some energy. Big exhale, press the arms down. Good, one more time, reach up on the inhale. As you exhale, let the left hand come to the mat and reach the right arm long alongside the ear. Feel into a nice stretch on the side body. And if you find that your hips are pressing up, come out of the pose slightly, right? You don't have to be in the deepest bend here, but just notice what you feel on the right side. From here on an inhale, let the right arm reach behind you as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. Nice big stretch here. Strong through the fingers. And then let the next exhale bring that arm right alongside the ear once again. So the palm is facing behind you. Reach the fingers long to the side wall. Look down at the bottom hand. And then press into the left hand as you inhale, rise up. And exhale, opposite side, nice and slowly. Moving at your own pace. Again, check in with those hips. Make sure that they're both well planted on the mat. Bend into that bottom elbow. As you inhale, let the left arm reach behind you. Nice big stretch through the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, action through the arms. Let the exhale bring the arm right alongside the ear once again. Look down at the bottom hand. Big stretch through the left side body. Press into the bottom hand, reach up on the inhale. From here, exhale. Hands come down in front of you. This is up to you, so we'll walk the fingers forward into a forward fold. Doesn't have to be the deepest stretch, so you can let your hands come out in front of you, softening through the heart, let the head hang heavy. Or if you like, you can bring your hands as wide as the mat and just start to sway side to side. While you're here, let the jaw be soft. Let the shoulders be soft. Waking up the low back. Good, and then inhale and slowly come back up. Roll through the shoulders. Sometimes the easing in stretches are my favorite. So let's switch the cross of the legs. We'll do that same thing on this side. So hopefully during these forward folds, you're feeling a nice stretch in the low back and also getting some relief through the hips as well. So just notice what you notice, no expectations. Once again, sitting up nice and tall, walk those fingers out. Inhale, reach all the way up. Big exhale, hands come down in front of you. If you haven't walked the hands wide, try it this time. Let the head hang heavy. Keep the shoulders away from the ears and sway side to side. Nice and easy. Soft jaw. Good, and then slowly come back up. Roll through the shoulders as you arrive. And take a deep breath. Good. Moving through a couple twists here. Always starting with hands at the sides, walk them out. Really wake up through the arms, stretch through the fingers. Inhale, reach up once again. And this time as you exhale, twist to your right. Bring your left hand to the right knee and look over the right shoulder. So looking behind you, finding that spinal twist. No need to try too hard here. Keep the shape, but as you inhale, sit up just a little bit taller. And as you exhale, let the back shoulder drop slowly away from the ear. Maybe even a little tuck to the chin. Stay with the breath. Inhale, let the arms reach all the way up. Big exhale, twist to the opposite side. So the left hand is behind the left hip. Looking over the left shoulder, keep the shape, but sit up nice and tall on the inhale. And as you exhale, let that shoulder soften down away from the ear. Soft jaw. Notice the breath. And one more time, reaching up with the arms. And exhale, bring hands through heart center. And release. Good. From here, let's move to tabletop pose. So coming to all fours. Feet are hips width apart. Hands are underneath the shoulders. And spread your fingers nice and wide. So you really want to root through the palms here, creating a nice bind, pada bandha, a bind between hand and mat, and press into the tops of the feet as well. So before we move anywhere, let's really experience tabletop pose. So you're lifting up out of the chest, pressing into the feet, reaching the tailbone back even as the crown of the head reaches forward. Nice and long through the spine, little pull in of the belly. On an inhale, drop the belly low, lift head and tailbone to cow. Reach the chin forward, pause for a breath. And as you exhale, begin by dropping the tailbone, arch through the back body and press the mat away to cat. One round of breath here. Inhale, belly drops low, head and tailbone lift to cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. Moving at the pace of your own breath, inhale to cow. So breath and movement are the same length as you press into cat. One more round here of each. Inhale, find cow. Again, see what it feels like to reach the chin forward, press the shoulders away, and find your way back to cat. Once you're in cat pose, let yourself softly press back to child's pose. Walk the fingers forward, and if you want to make space for the belly between the thighs, just move the knees wide. Soften the heart to the mat, and let the head rest. 3 rounds of breath here in extended child's pose. Softening through the shoulders, the belly. Inhale and exhale. Let everything go. Just be present with sensation. On the next inhale, lift the head. Walk the hands out and over to the left. Let the right hand rest on top of the left and reach those fingers far. Exhale and then settle in. Another nice stretch through the right side body. Releasing into the earth. Notice the breath. Inhale, lift the head. Walk hands to center and then continue walking out and over to the left. Sorry, the right. Left hand sits on top of right. Exhale and soften in. Notice what's happening in the shoulders and the jaw. Let yourself release. And then inhale, bring everything back to center. From here, press back up to tabletop pose. Take a moment, give your hips a little side to side wiggle. Good. And then from tabletop, root well through the palms. Inhale the right leg back behind you. Press that heel back, little leg lift here. Reach through the heel. And then press the right toes into the mat. From here, press back through the right heel. Nice hamstring stretch. While you're there, make sure you're not sinking in the chest. So keep that engagement through the arms, belly pulling in. Inhale, lift the right heel again. This time, bring it across the left ankle and let it rest at the mat. Whoops. Or my mask. I have an extra. From here on an exhale, arch over the left shoulder. So look over the left shoulder to the inside arch of the right foot. Pause for a breath or two. Big stretch, working on the side body today. Inhale, back to neutral. Inhale the right heel up. And exhale, back to table. Little wiggle side to side. Inhale the left leg up behind you. Press the heel back. Find that engagement through the arms. Little strength here. Exhale, press the left toes to the mat. And press back through the left heel. Sometimes even these little stretches can feel so good. From here, inhale, lift the left heel. Bring the foot across to the right side and set the toes down, maybe even outside of the mat. As you exhale, look over the right shoulder, big arch here. Nice big stretch. Even press through the arms. Good, and then inhale, head back to neutral. Inhale the left heel up, and exhale, bring it right back. Good. From here, walk the hands slightly forward. So here we are in tabletop. In tabletop, the hips are over the knees. Let your hands come forward so that the hips begin to come forward as well. If you have cranky knees, this might be a nice time to either find a towel to put under the knees or roll the bottom of the mat up so that you can have a little more support under the knees. Okay? So once you are comfortable underneath the knees, let the hips come forward. And then from here, we're just going to move around the clock. So the knees are the center of the clock. On an inhale, bring the hips out to the right. Back to 6 o'clock over the heels. Out to the left at 9 and back up to 12. So really moving at your own pace, move through a couple rounds of clockwise motion. You're welcome to start twisting through the torso if that feels good. Moving with the breath. And then reverse. And maybe one more round here. All that nice cracking and creaking. And then bring the hands back to neutral. Find tabletop once again. From here, let's kick it up a notch. Root down through the palms, tuck the toes, and as you inhale, keep the knees bent, but lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. So here we are in a very deep knee bend down dog, pressing through the arms, reaching the tailbone up and back. If you don't feel too tight in the hamstrings, now might be a nice time to let the heels lower to the mat, finding the full expression of the pose. Nice big stretch, maybe bicycle the feet. Let yourself be here for a few breaths. Make this pose what it needs to be. And then as you exhale, bend the knees and return once more to tabletop. Good, so you stay where you are. I'm just going to move to the other side. If you're not used to having that weight on the wrists, know that it takes time. Every time you come into down dog, you're building up that strength in the wrists, but be gentle to yourself. So if you need to take some time to circle them out, feel free. Let's work on the hips a little bit. So from tabletop pose, bring your right knee out to the side, flex the foot, move through a couple circles here. So we call this fire hydrant pose, which is not an ancient Sanskrit pose at all, but I don't know the name for it other than fire hydrant, so it's kind of a joke amongst some yoga teachers. There must be a Sanskrit name for fire hydrant. Okay, and then bring the right knee down. Same thing on the other side. So from tabletop pose, lift the left knee out to the side, keep that foot flexed, circle through the hips. Again, maybe you feel some cracking, creaking. Good, and then bring that knee down. I'm gonna switch once again. So you stay where you are. From here, bring your right foot out to the side like a kickstand. So you're gonna keep the knees on the mat and just swivel that foot out to the side. Okay, so this is your kickstand. From here, keep it even pressed through the hands, but let your left leg come out behind you, right? So just extending it directly behind you. And I'll have my back to you in a moment, but then I'm gonna switch around. I just wanna make sure you can see the right foot. From here, begin to bring the outside edge of the left foot to the floor. So lowering the left heel, inhale the left arm up. Finding your way to supported plank. So stay where you are. And then exhale, slowly bring the left hand down and find your way back to table. Supported plank pose. Okay, give a little wiggle to the hips if you need to. Same thing on the other side. Knees remain on the mat. Left foot swivels out to the side. Extend the right leg behind you. First press the toes in and then lower the inside edge of the right foot to the floor. On an inhale, rise up. Right arm reaches up. Take up space here. Good. If you want to press the sole of the right foot to the floor, feel free. Lifting up out of the top arm. Nice big stretch. And exhale. Find your way back to table. Good. From here, lower to the hips. Come down to seated with your legs long in front of you. And first find your sits bones. So kind of wiggle around so that you're well rooted to the earth through your seat. If you are really tight in the legs, you are certainly welcome to bend the knees. You don't have to have straight legs here. Sometimes it feels really nice to have a rolled towel or blanket underneath the knees for a little extra support. Meet your body where you are, right? There's no need to force it. So from here, first bend the left knee. Bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Make sure that you're centered over the right leg. So if you're familiar with tree pose, it's that same shape, but we're on the floor. So you want to make sure that your chin is centered over the right knee, foot is flexed, sitting up nice and tall. You can always have a block under the left knee as well. So just take a moment here. On an inhale, let the arms reach up. And as you exhale, hinge forward any amount, bring the hands down and hold on to something. Now this might be a situation where you would like to have a strap wrapped around the foot so that you can hold on and get a little bit deeper in the stretch. It's totally up to you. But while you're here, soften through the shoulders, tuck the chin, and really let yourself be here for several breaths. Reach the crown of the head toward the foot. Maybe even give a little downward press to the left knee. And then slowly come up on the inhale. Bring the left leg long. And shake it out. Same thing other side. So bend the right knee, sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. Again, taking that tree pose shape with the legs, center over the left leg. Sit up nice and tall. We're different side to side, so respect that in your own body. Inhale, reach all the way up. And as you exhale, hinge at the hips. Let the hands come down, hold onto something somewhere. Once you're there, tuck the chin and find your fold. Notice if you're holding tension somewhere else in the body, maybe the jaw or the chest. Let yourself really be here for several breaths. Notice any sensation. Maybe you find legs long. Let those heels wiggle side to side. Let it go. From here, with the legs long, once again, bend the left knee. Bring the left foot to the inside of the right knee. So a couple options here. We're going to move into some twists. If you don't feel like getting into a deep twist, if you feel like it's not in the practice today, you can leave the left foot inside the right leg. Otherwise, let that foot move to the outside. Press the sole of the left foot to the floor. You might have to scoot the left hip forward a little bit. That's okay. Right foot stays nice and long, pressing that calf into the floor, extending through flexing through the foot. Wrap your right arm around the left knee. From here, first just look forward. Reach the left arm forward. So first we're reaching forward, letting that shoulder blade kind of round forward. Take a breath, and then as you inhale, extend the left arm out and behind you. Let the left fingers come to the mat, look down, and find your twist. Marichyasana. So while you're here, really focus on the shape that you're making. Keep the extended foot flexed. Reach tall through the spine. And if you feel like you can stretch a little deeper, take the right elbow and anchor it to the top of the left thigh. See if that helps a little bit. Remember, it's not about how deep you stretch, it's about how it feels in the body. Be present with the breath. And as you exhale, slowly unwind. Bring the left leg long. Shake it out. Good. Notice any difference from side to side. I love this twist. So bring the right knee bent. You can leave it to the inside of the foot, the inside of the knee, or cross that foot to the outside of the left knee. Sit up nice and tall, rooting down through the calf and the heel. Wrap the left arm around the right knee. As you inhale, reach the right fingers forward. Take a breath here. Lengthen. On the inhale, reach the right arm out to the side and let the fingers come to rest behind you. Finding your twist on this side. So again, while you're here, really focus on the shape that you're making. Energy throughout the limbs, up through the spine, crown of the head. Maybe anchor that left elbow to the top of the right knee. Soften through the right shoulder. And then as you exhale, slowly release the pose. Let the legs be long. Shake it out. Good. Wiggle the heels side to side. Good. And take a moment here, just bring your hands to the outsides of the hips. Just kind of rub downward. This can feel pretty good after a few stretches. And just rub down the legs. One more time. Good. And then shake out the hands. Shake it out. Good. From here, bring the soles of the feet together as we move to Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. Once again, finding those sits bones. Since the knees are a little higher, if you're more comfortable supporting them with the blocks, please do. Within the 2 rounds of Baddha Konasana, we'll have one straight spine and one rounded. So press the soles of the feet together, and the outside edges of the feet are really pressing down into the floor. You can wrap your fingers around the toes or hold onto the ankles, whichever's more comfortable. So with a straight spine in Baddha Konasana, you may not go very far. Again, it's about how it feels, okay? Take a breath here. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. So hinging forward any amount. See if you can press the elbows into the thighs or the calves. Shoulders soften away from the ears. Tuck the chin. engagement through the limbs, the feet. And then inhale and slowly come back up. This time, as you come forward into Baddha Konasana, feel free to round into the spine as much as you can. So think about like a roly-poly bug, right? They get all round and ball-shaped, and that can feel really good in releasing in this fold. So inhale, sit up nice and tall. Then as you exhale, let those elbows bend out to the sides. Tuck the chin and round through the back body. While you're here, it might feel good to lower the shoulders one at a time toward the feet, finding a little spinal twist. And then slowly, slowly come back up. Once you're here, press the knees together. And from here, it's all downhill. So you're welcome to either rock and roll coming down to your back, like so, or just slowly lower down, but keep the knees bent as you come down to the floor. If you have a block, keep it nearby, because we'll need that in a little bit. So first bring the feet flat to the floor. Take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, hug the knees in. Gently rock side to side. And then bring your hands to the knees so that you can guide the knees in circles. Massaging the low back, backs of the hips. Exhale, let those feet come to the mat. Arms long alongside the body. And then from here, as you inhale, let the right toes point up to the ceiling. Good. While you're here, point the toes, reach up just a little higher, and then flex the foot so the heel presses. Point and flex. One more time, point and flex. And then cross the right ankle over the left knee, moving into reclined pigeon pose or number 4 hip opener. So first take your right hand and press your right thigh away from you so that you're trying to square the hips. Keep the right foot flexed, soft through the shoulders. And then from here, reach through and grab the back of the left thigh, pulling the knees in. Make sure you keep this foot flexed to protect the knee, and really notice what you're feeling in that right hip. If you have sciatica, as I do, this can be incredibly releasing. Really nice stretch. Pull the knees in as much as you please. Maybe even a little side-to-side rock, or just let the knees come out to the left, just a little bit here. Really intensifying that stretch. Soft jaw, soft breath. Good, and then exhale, come back to center. Lower the feet to the mat. And we'll switch sides. Inhale the left foot up, point those toes to the ceiling and reach up through the hip. Flex the foot, heel presses up. Point and flex. Point and flex. Good. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Press the left knee away from the body. Keep the left foot flexed. Soft shoulders, soft jaw. And then from here, reach through, grab the back of the right thigh to pull the knees in. Soften through the shoulders. And again, maybe a little movement, or just let the knees lower any amount to the right side. Doesn't have to be very far before you really start to feel this. Notice when you're feeling resistance in one area of the body, if somewhere else in the body tension takes over. That's why our jaw and our shoulders seem to tense up so much during the day. So as you feel tightness in the left hip, release through the jaw and the shoulders. Good, and then bring everything back to neutral, feet to the mat. And then from here, let your feet walk as wide as the mat, arms out in T. Just find a little side-to-side sway here, just kind of windshield wiper. And then walk your feet back to hips width apart, heels close to the glutes. And we'll just do a supported bridge today, nice and easy. Take your block, press into the feet and lift the hips, and slide that block underneath the sacrum. So this is the lowest part of the low back. Make sure that your tailbone feels supported. And once you're here, just rest. You can bring hands to the belly, hands to the sides of the mat. See what it might feel like to walk the feet a little bit wider. Let everything start to settle in through the hips. Take a deep breath. And while you're here, notice the back body, the shoulder blades. Can you walk the shoulder blades in a little closer to one another? Feel a little more symmetry in the back body. On your next exhale, lift the feet off the floor, bring knees to chest. Once you're here, make sure that block still feels comfortable. If you feel any pinching, usually it means you need to move the block down the back body a little bit more. So just make sure that you feel comfortable. And then from here, let the legs lift up, coming into Viparita Karani. This pose is known as the great equalizer. It can be very calming, restorative. And it also adds a little brightness as well. So it's a wonderful way to find a little easeful energy throughout the day. So just a few more breaths here. As you exhale, lower the feet, knees come to chest, feet to the mat, rest on the block for another breath or two. Then as you inhale, press into the feet, lift your hips and slide that block out of the way. So before we move to Shavasana, just one more spinal twist here. Arms move out to T-pose. And again, check in with your shoulder blades, make sure they feel pretty good underneath the body. Cross the right thigh tightly over the left, like you're sitting in a chair crossing your legs. So really engage through the thighs here. And then press into the feet so that you can lift your hips and scooch them to the right. Lower your knees to the left. If you want to support your thighs with a block, please do. The idea here is to feel restful in this pose, and then turn the chin over to the right shoulder. Now, if you've done this pose before, you know that you are welcome to adjust it as you please. Allow yourself a few breaths here. Simply notice any changes in the body from when we began. As you inhale, bring the knees back up. Square the hips, untangle the legs. Cross the left thigh tightly over the right. Shift hips to the left, and then lower knees to the right, and let the chin turn to the left shoulder. 3 full rounds of breath here. You feel ready, slowly bring the knees back up, untangle the legs. From here we move to Shavasana. So if there's any last movement or pose that the body needs, now's the time. And then from here,
Shavasana is generally taken with legs and arms long and slightly apart from the body. You're always welcome to find a prop under the knees, whatever you might need. But let the eyes close. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Feel the body so well supported by the ground below. Allow yourself to follow the wave of the breath. Know that there's nothing else to be done. Let yourself remain in Shavasana for a few moments. And when the time is right, slowly let yourself move out of it as you transition back to the day. Allow this time of relaxation to be yours. Aware of the breath, grateful for the practice. Grateful for this time that you've gifted yourself.